Republican leaders have launched a new effort hoping to take back some of the support that they lost in the last election. GOP numbers are dwindling on Capitol Hill, and former Florida governor and brother to the former president, Jeb Bush, says he doesn't like what he's seeing.
From the conservative side, it's time for us to listen first, to learn a little bit, to upgrade our message a little bit, to not be nostalgic about the past. But what I've seen in the last few years is really troubling.
For more now, we're joined by House Republican Whip Eric Cantor. He is also a member of the National Council for a New America, that group there that's hoping to remake the Republican Party. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Let's just take a look at how Republican fortunes have changed since 1995 when the contract with America swept you to power. In 1995, you had 230 seats in the House. Now you've got 178. You had 52 Senate seats. Now 40. That's a pretty serious erosion. What happened?
Well, John, clearly we've had some setbacks, no question about it. Could we have done better in many areas? Absolutely. And that's why we've launched the National Council for a New America. And as Governor Bush just said, it is very important at this point that we go back out across the country, bring in as many people as possible to begin a conversation about the direction of this country. And the National Council for New America is meant to be a forum for folks to gather, to come, to discuss the issues confronting them in their communities, and frankly, to rally around the principles that we know have made this country great, which are liberty, opportunity, and the devotion to the individual and free markets.
Governor Bush also said that you've got to give up nostalgia for the heyday of the Reagan era. You know, anytime you go to these Republican conventions, it's all about Ronald Reagan. Every candidate who ever runs for president wants to be Ronald Reagan. How are you going to give that up?
John, I don't think it's giving up Ronald Reagan. I think the brilliance of Ronald Reagan's leadership was his ability to identify the challenges that really were impacting people's lives back in the day that he was elected in 1980. We've got a similar challenge today. We're 25 years later. The same issues that may have resonated then may not be the issues that are resonating today, but it is the principles around which Ronald Reagan formed his solutions that are still alive and well.
Right.
Again, those principles of limited government, free markets, faith in the individual, faith in God, those are the things that have made this country great.
During your meeting over the weekend, you didn't talk at all about abortion, gay marriage, or immigration. Those are three big Republican social issues. There were Republicans, conservatives who were protesting outside of the pizza parlor where you held this meeting. Why were those issues left off the table?
Listen, the National Council for New America is meant to be a wide-open policy debate. There is no exclusion about what we'll talk about, who can be involved. Again, this is about going back out.
Yet you shied away from those particular issues, and I'm wondering why.
Well, John, there was, again, this was a free-flowing conversation. The traditional family values are part of everything we do. The value system that we hold, raising our children, educating our children, delivering health care, these issues permeate everything. So there is absolutely no intention to veer away from discussion of any of that. Again, this is trying to go back out to the people and say, look, what's going on in Washington right now is not reflective of the mainstream of this country. Let's take this country back. Let's make sure that the direction that we are headed is one that meets the expectations of the American people and is not imposed on them by a special interest lobby that seems to have a lot of momentum in D.C.
At the same time you're making that argument, though, some former Republicans are making the argument that, hey, the problem is not so much Washington, the problem is the Republican Party. Arlen Specter, who was a Republican for 29 years, says you've clearly lost your center. Let's listen to what he said yesterday.
The Republican Party has gone far to the right since I joined it under Reagan's Big Tent. When I came to the Senate, you had a room full of moderate Republicans, Hines and Weicker and Stafford and Chafee and Danforth and on and on.
And, of course, we all know what Olympia Snowe, senator from Maine, said. It's true that being a Republican moderate sometimes feels like being a cast member of Survivor. You're presented with multiple challenges. You often get the distinct feeling you're no longer welcome in the tribe. Has the party moved too far to the right? It's not the Big Tent of Ronald Reagan anymore?
Well, John, first of all, let's just call Senator Specter's decision what it is. It is what he admitted it being when he announced he was switching parties. It was for political survival.
Right.
And
but
obviously,
again, Olympia Snowe says you've moved too far to the right. You're not tolerant of moderates. Even Lindsey Graham said the same thing. So it's not just about Arlen Specter.
John, let me tell you something else. There's no question that the Republican Party needs to be more inclusive at this point. We shouldn't be an exclusive small bunch satisfied with the minority, because what we want to be able to do is put back in place those principles that the party was built on and what this country was built on. Look, in the Northeast and New England, we've certainly taken our licks, and we have got to go back out to the people and talk about the things that are facing them, come up with the solutions, talk about the solutions that we've got. That economy in many parts of the Northeast, Upper Midwest, manufacturing base is eroding. We've got solutions. We've got the ability to talk to people, to bring them in, to discuss the future. But there's no sense in saying that somehow the Republican Party and our principles cannot work for people. We know they can. That's why we started the National Council for a New America.
All right, we'll keep watching it very closely. Congressman Eric Cantor, Minority Whip in the House, thanks for being with us this morning. It's good to see you.
Thank you.